about afterwards? So how long did it take you to, because I contacted you not too long after the swim, I think, and you said I'd like to do the podcast. I'm just still sort of collecting my thoughts and and just like winding down from the swim. So what was what happened? What was that like for you a few days afterwards and a few weeks afterwards?
I feel like so after Taupō, so Taupō's in the middle of New Zealand, sort of 40k freshwater swim, and that was, I think, my first big swim. And so I feel like the recovery after that swim, it was probably more about my body. I feel like it was a lot more like took a more physical toll on me. So this time around, I feel it was probably less of a physical toll. I was actually feeling quite good after a few days. I was sort of feeling a bit recovered. But I think it kind of took a bit of a mental toll. Like you kind of have to, like your brain just tries to process everything that happens. And so you just like have to, you like relive, I guess, the swim over and over again. Like you try to just process, oh, wait, this happened, and this happened, and this happened. And also, I think also, because the swim was so eventful, like it was so unexpected. I wasn't expecting to be out there for 12 hours. And like,
what were you expecting? How long were you thinking or planning on?
I think around 8 hours.
Like, right. That's a lot longer.
If we'd got a normal, like, I don't think there is normal in the Cook Strait, but if we'd got one of the friendlier days in the Cook Strait, I think it would have been more 8 hours. So I think just lots happened in that swim, and so I think your brain kind of just needs to process it, and then you also find yourself like having to catch up on sleep and whatnot. So that was probably more the recovery for me, just getting my head around it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, John Hancock, who I had on the previous podcast, he kind of spoke about a similar thing. It's like, physically he was pretty good after his lake swim, but it's more the mental side of things that you really have to be mindful of. Looking out for, and especially when it is such a big day and longer than what you had planned, and and sort of things not going to plan as well as you would like in terms of conditions and all that sort of stuff. Like it can certainly be a lot to process. So how are you now a few weeks after the swim? Because one of the things that John mentioned that he'd heard coaches and athletes talk about is the mental come down after a big event like that. And you've done quite a few big swims as well. Have you experienced that, that sort of downward part of it, and where you're at the moment with it?
I think I'm pretty good on that side of things. I've only really been doing short little swims, but I'm going to go up to Auckland and do the Rangitoto swim this weekend as a bit of a end of season sort of fun swim. I think it helps that I have other swims sort of in my sort of future. This wasn't like the be all end all. Although my next swim is planning to be the English Channel, so I don't actually know if I'll ever get overseas for that. But hopefully that's next year. I think that it was probably harder after Taupō because I think so. The Taupō swim was end of January, and I had this idea that I would chill out for a little bit and then just do some fun swims at the end of season, like sort of go up and do like the marathon swim in Auckland. But then COVID hit, and then all of a sudden it's like you can't do any swimming. So we had quite a hard lockdown where it was like 5 weeks of no swimming. And so I think it sort of went from I've done this really big swim to actually I'm not allowed to swim.
Yeah.
And so I think that sort of hit me quite like more of a shock than what COVID might have been otherwise. But I feel like I've done a few big swims now that I don't think I'll have that big come down, but you never know. It's only 3 weeks from the swim now.
Yeah. Oh, look, I hope you don't go through it